So, hello and welcome to my next chess video. This time I show you the game between Houdini 1.5a x64 versus Komodo 11 64-bit version. And Komodo is black, Houdini is white, and Komodo. The first move played in, I let them play without opening book or table bases as always. And the first move calculated by Komodo is the move knight bd7, and now let's see what we get. I probably will capture here at some point at least, and after, for example, d captures, I would go bishop d3, maybe prepare e4 at some variations. e4, pawn takes, knight takes, knight takes, bishop takes, queen e7 could be a problem though, but bishop b4 anyway, stopping this, e4, then bishop d2, unpinning, and now probably castling. e4 is probably not possible, because knight takes, yeah, here knight takes, bishop takes, you could go, and after rook e8, I'm not sure if you have a problem here, you can just castle, but then knight f6 could be dangerous. h6 stopping bishop g4, a5 kicking the bishop, so bishop there, and now probably bishop f4 or bishop e6. I'm not sure. No, not this. I would probably go b5 here, and now b4 kicking the bishop back, and now I would try c5 here, freeing up everything. Bishop takes, knight takes, attacking the bishop, so bishop here, and now bishop there, and if you capture there, and go for example knight here or something. I don't think black has anything there, but okay, we don't have bishop, we don't have captures. The other thing here about e4 is, if you capture the knight there, let's say it doesn't really matter with what you capture, so probably with the c pawn to strengthen your center, but it doesn't really matter, you lose here due to that fork, so this is immediately lost. I just spotted this, so bishop d3, bishop b4, you cannot go bishop here and e4. You would have to go something like, yeah, probably castling, and everything should be fine. Everything should be fine here. And now probably bishop takes, and knight e4. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight there, and f6 maybe. Knight takes, and rook e8 to attack this pawn. Rook here, I wouldn't do that. I would go queen f3 to defend it, and now bishop f4. There is no threat of e4, and no, probably, I'm not sure about this because knight coming to e4, so probably e5 is not so dangerous to capture like that, and now bishop to e4. Go knight here, bishop there, rook there, f5. This check does nothing. Yeah, it would do something if you go somewhere, but just bishop here attacking the queen, and the queen has to go back. And now queen f6 most probably, and everything holds. So yeah, it's a possible line probably, but yeah, we have different moves in the game here. Instead of bishop d3 we had bishop d2, and now we had we don't have takes anyway. We have bishop d2 here, and now bishop d6, bishop d3, and now I will capture here. C takes and go b4, bishop d3 and b5 maybe, and then maybe knight e4. Knight takes, bishop d7, and rook c1, rook c8, castles, and c5 at some point. No, c5 is not possible. Probably queen a6 to attack this pawn and that pawn. Now queen b6, defending everything. This pawn was on the threat. And now you'd have to face knight here. No, you don't. This is just taken. So this is probably next move. c5 is coming, and you can really defend this. So this is probably a line. Now d takes c4, bishop takes c4. Komodo gives the line d takes c4, bishop takes c4, castles, and yeah, we have d takes c4. So now we have bishop takes c4 most probably. Castles is the line, followed up with e5. Oh, e5 instead of c5. Yeah, e5 is the second push. Of course, you should probably take this, and after knight takes, bishop takes. You don't have anything here as black, but you're also not worse. You have a pawn majority on the queen side. Black has a pawn majority on the king side. Both have two bishops, and yeah, f5, f4, probably not, but yeah, e5 is something to consider here. So let's cover this. Bishop d2, bishop d6, bishop d3. Why not c5 here? Just okay, bishop c7. And you could probably break with c6 at some point. b4 here. Castles, bishop d3. Maybe preparing e4 at some point. You'd have to be ready for e4. a5, a3, pawn takes, rook takes, queen takes. Can you go e5? Yeah, probably e5 still again, threatening the fork. Knight takes and then bishop takes. I'm not sure about that position. Probably it's playable for both sides. Have to check this later, this line with c4. But in the game we have something else. We had bishop d3 captures, and now castles is the line instead of b4. b4 is also, yeah, I always play with b4 and b5, with b5 and b4, but I'm not quite sure if you gain something there. Knight e4 is not on. Bishop d6, bishop d3. Yeah, probably bishop all the way back. Preparing e4, e5. So let's say c5. You don't really want to capture this, but you kind of, yeah, probably knight here. Going after h6. This doesn't do anything. So probably f5. No, I would go g3 here, g6 actually, to prevent any bishop c4. And now maybe capturing an e4, e5. No, wait a bit. e4 captures. Yeah, captures is probably not so great. I would go a3 here. And after captures, this pawn is defended. So takes. And now what with white? Probably that. Rook d8, e4, captures, and bishop there. Most probably, no, you cannot capture here actually, because the queen is defending it. So e4 is not on. Yeah, but this doesn't work due to this pin here. So rook there doesn't do anything. Well, it actually works, because bishop a6, you have this, no, this not, but that. Cannot take the rook because the queen would be en prise. Let's try that. Now there might be some threats of capturing there, and queen here check. So sure, for example, if you block this, then probably knight takes, queen takes check. Yeah, but probably you have to, not enough here. No. But anyway, you don't have to do blocking it. You can also just go rook e8 there. Or no, you cannot. If you go back with the queen, then the bishop would hang. So you'd have to do something else there. Yeah, this is a bad position. So bishop a5 is not on. What else can you do? f6 to prepare e4. I would go bishop to here. And after captures, bishop here captures, and queen there. Also not quite a, oh. a6 I'm not sure about, because of takes, and queen takes here with a check. Not sure if black can survive this, but anyway, you don't have to go in for all that. We have castles on the board, so we are in the correct order. Castles. No, we don't have. Yeah, we are this position. Let's go with the game. Castles. And now e5. Well, why not c5? e5, c5 is both possible, probably. Those are the main two breaks which you play in the Slav. Those two breaks. Probably e5 is the more accurate one. So e5. Queen c2, you don't want to capture. Queen c2. And then h6. Yeah, why not e5? E5 is suppressed because of queen c2. So h6, stopping any knight coming into g5. h6, rook fe1. This is the line, rook fe1. E takes d4, e takes d4, e takes, and knight b6, attacking the bishop. Bishop b3 and knight d5, knight b6 to d5, probably. Knight b6 to d5, knight takes d5, and c takes d5. This is the line, knight takes and c takes, covering this, probably bishop e6. It's probably playable for both sides, this position. Bishop g4, so probably h3 now. Knight e5, knight f3 to e5. Queen c2, also Houdini applies with this. No, knight e4 I would go. No, knight e4 loses that pawn. And this is a quite important pawn, so maybe a5, a4. So a5, a4, you don't want to get b4. So a4, b6, probably to go bishop there. Rook c1. bishop there or bishop here actually to the no bishop e7. It's a playable position for both sides. I don't see the problem here for either side. So this is how you should play it. So queen c2, h6, h6, rook ac1 now. h6, rook ae1, followed up with rook fe8. So this is the line. Rook fe8, bishop c4 to d3. I will go bishop b4 now to threaten capturing the knight and pushing the pawn. Bishop takes, knight takes. No, I will probably go b5 here. b5, bishop d3, queen e7. Oh, not queen c7, queen e7. Queen e7, yeah, preparing this, and now probably e4. I would immediately go e4 here. Bishop e7, knight e4, knight e4, knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, and I threaten this check. So you'd have to go back with the queen somewhere. So probably not taking. So bishop, knight takes, f4 is not on, knight f3, knight f6. Attacking the bishop, and if the bishop moves back, can't move back because of that. So the bishop has to go to this square. Now you could probably push anyway. Pushing. Knight e4 g5. This could be a pain. What about bishop takes, pawn takes, knight a no, first you have to get rid of, no, first you have to capture that. Now you're a piece up. So e5 captures, not captures. You have to move back the bishop probably to a6, and after captures. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 6 pawns. Should be playable for both sides. Probably more playable for black than for white. h6 and bishop there. Queen there. So if it captures, then there is a mate. So probably f5, and now probably f4 now. We have a different move. We have rook d8, but this is a interesting line nevertheless. But I think it's okay for both sides, but it's interesting. This with bishop f4, but we don't have, we have queen c2, h6, and now we have a different move. We don't have rook a, we don't have that move or the other rook there. We have rook d8, d1, rook a d1, and now rook fe8 anyway. Bishop d3 back. E takes d4, knight takes d4. E takes d4, what is... Houdini gives e takes d4, Houdini 1.5a gives e takes d4. Let's try and figure out Houdini's line. E takes d4 and knight b6. E takes d4 and knight b6. E takes d4 and knight b6. A wonderful blockade here of the d5 square with the c6 pawn and the knight on b6 and the knight on f3. This bishop is freed up. Probably h3 now. Stop anything from the bishop, any nonsense. don't have to do that. You can also go bishop f5, bishop takes, queen takes. Now probably knight here, knight takes. Should probably go knight takes. Not sure why the rook is on d1 and not on e1. But this will be the line. E takes. Komodo gives knight takes, followed up with knight c5. But d takes is ruling that out. And let's see both evaluations. Both engines are thinking that the position is still around even. Well, it's just the starting position of the middle game. Yeah, black is fine here. At d7, f8 is the move Komodo gives. Still quite happy with its position, but also happy with rook fe1 and bishop g4, probably h3 then. Rook takes and knight takes. Rook takes and knight takes. So that pawn takes and queen f4 is a threat now. Well, is it? Let's put a6 on the board. Takes. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a big threat. So there is no a6. Knight takes. Okay, there is now no knight here, so a6. Yeah, those knights on the board on the first rank, pretty curious. Rook fe1. Rook fe1. Wait, knight f8, rook fe1, and bishop g4. It changed. Komodo changed its mind to bishop e6 and to knight b6 actually. Yeah, knight b6 looks more active. But what is this knight doing? Going to d5 most probably. H3, stopping any bishop g4. Bishop e6 and knight e5. Oh, that's the point of all that. To clear this file for the rook. This is the idea. Knight takes, knight takes. Is there a check here? I don't think it's doing much. Just knight there, no. So, but this is quite possible. Followed up with f4. Trying to go ff, knight here. No, this f4 loses instantly, so you have to factor this check. Oh, this doesn't work because the bishop can take the knight. So f4 is possible. Queen b6 check. King there. Now g6, but f5 nevertheless. Bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, queen takes. So probably not touching this knight which arises here. So yeah, the f pawn is also defended. What else can you do there? c5. d5 is not on. So probably c5 here. What's the idea behind that? c5 looks to be a good move. It looks as so. Knight b6 captures, captures, captures. Knight here, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, rook there, attacking the queen, rook there. Not sure. I think white would get back the pawn, but this is just nothing for white. This is just nothing for white. So c5 after knight e3, after knight e5, rook f, rook d1 or rook f e1. Rook f e1 is what Houdini thinks instead of knight there. Rook f e1 and queen c7. Rook f e1 and queen c7, yeah. Interesting. Black is fully developed, so is white. White has a isolated queen's pawn. Black has a perfect pawn structure, but yeah, I would prefer black in that position actually. But I am not an engine. I would lose both positions against both engines. Lose with both positions against both engines. So yeah, but let's see. Let's see what Stockfish is. Rook f e1 and knight b6 to d5. Knight b6 to d5. a3 because you don't want to have this knight b4 lurking. Yeah. Perfectly playable position for both sides. And I will smoke a cigarette now. Knight b6 to d5, a3 and queen c7. Followed up with what? Rook e2, doubling on the e file. Then he gives knight takes d5, followed up with knight takes d5 as option. Knight takes d5, knight takes d5, rook takes e8, queen. What? No, not. Bishop takes e5. This is Houdini's line. Queen takes and knight e5. Houdini really wants to play knight e5. What's the point of knight e5? Both bishops. What's the point of knight e5? Is this just losing a pawn? After bishop takes e5. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Bishop c3. Attacking the queen. Bishop takes bishop c3 attacking the queen. So I would go bishop takes here. Bishop takes, queen takes, and after bishop c3, let's say queen there. Bishop takes, queen takes, and bishop here check. It's just nothing. It's just nothing, this check. You just go there and you're a pawn down. So I don't get knight e5. Knight takes d5 we have on the board. Bishop takes d5, rook takes, and rook e1. This is what Houdini gives. Knight e5, I don't get it. Of course, bishop takes, bishop takes. Knight e5 and queen d8. Knight e5. I will capture this pawn. Okay, white gets a bishop pair in an open position, but it's a pawn. Why not grab a pawn if it's possible? The queen doesn't have many squares, though. Well, it has. It has a lot of squares. Rook. Rook e1. Probably go to c1. Queen here, threatening bishop takes h6. Yeah, but you don't have to go to c7. Can probably go here. At least I would go there. Interesting. Knight e5 is interesting. Let's see both evaluations. Still around even. Both engines are giving it as around even. Queen takes d1. Queen takes d1 and rook de1. Knight takes e1. Knight takes e8. So, okay, knight takes e8. And now knight e5. Oh, this is what... Oh, knight e5 now. f6? Or just ignoring it. Queen f6. Knight c7 to e6. Bishop h7, king h8, and bishop e4. Putting the king on the worse square. This is what Komodo gives. I don't really understand this. Well, I understand the theory about behind it, but yeah, bishop check and bishop e4 now. Bishop takes, queen takes, but this is nothing. Knight f6. Attacking the queen. We'll see. We will see. One pair of rooks came off. This is what Komodo gives. 95 is what Houdini will play, probably. Knight takes e8 and knight e5. Now Houdini changed its mind to Komodo's line with bishop h7, so this will be the board position. And after this, knight f4 back, bishop takes, knight takes, and a6. Now probably stopping any b4. Now rook e8. Bishop there, bishop takes, knight takes, and they could agree a draw here. Probably queen here. But no, b6 is not on because the c pawn would hang. Well, yeah, no, it's not on. So rook c8 first. Now b5. No, yeah, b4 takes, c6. Queen f4 attacking the knight. Knight there attacking the pawn. Knight there, leaving that pawn, trying to capture that one. Queen f6 doesn't work. Knight check will come anyway. No, it does. Well, it does. It does. So this is now probably better. Yeah, the king is on h7, so there are other options now available. So let's see how Komodo fares with it. Knight f6, bishop takes, knight takes, and queen f5. Queen f5 immediately. Going after the f pawn. Queen f8. If the knight comes here, then you'd have to eliminate it. And then pawn takes and you repaired your structure, and white is better probably after all that. Both engines giving it as equal. Probably knight e5 now. Going after that pawn, but yeah, you cannot go f6 because of the fork here. So either you capture it or you play knight f6. No, or you play king h7, and there is not much. At some point a3 to stop this, and now not a6, of course a6 doesn't make any sense. a5 most probably. Stop b4. Rook e1. But it looks to me that white is making progress there. If this is the best black can get here, white should have something at least. White should have something. Knight f6 here. Queen f5. Bishop e4. Oh, bishop takes. Okay, it doesn't change the picture. Bishop h7, king here. Bishop takes, and now bishop takes e4, queen takes e4, and knight f6. We have. This changes a lot. Knight f6 and queen f5, bishop c7. Rook e1, king g8, g3. Rook here, king g8, g3. Should be quite playable for both sides. Yeah, probably still even. Even Steven. This could be position. Sorry. Knight f6, queen c2 instead of f5. So knight f6 and queen c2 could be the move there. King g8. Rook e1 and queen b6. Adding more pressure to the d4 pawn. Bishop c3 probably. I would consider strongly bishop c3. a4 rook e8. a4 rook e8. Rook takes, knight takes. Rook takes, knight takes, and I think there is just nothing for both sides. No progress. Oh, we have different move. Oh, bishop takes, h6 could now be a threat. So we have queen a5, king g8 and rook e1. And rook e1. Still quite even. Waiting for king g8 to happen. Don't think king g8 was played. Rook e1. Yeah, it's not the most tactical and combinational game of all times, but it's probably because of the opening I gave them. The semi-Slav is sometimes a little dull. But okay. Let's see if Komodo can win this. Rook e8, knight d5, queen g4. This is what they give. Queen g4. Queen c8. So if bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. So this is not on. So queen c8, queen e4. And queen d7. This is the line they give. Probably with knight f6 to follow, attacking the queen. Okay, white got the e-file, so white should probably be a little better, but probably knight e5 now. Knight takes, pawn takes, and queen f6, f4, g4, g5, h5 takes, queen takes, rook takes, knight takes, rook there. Rook there, attacking the bishop, rook there, bishop there, rook there. Oh, this doesn't work because this defends the the rook. So, rook there, bishop there, knight there, check. Yeah, in the second game white is better. So exchanging stuff is not helping black here. So f5 is not on. Is f5 a threat here? Yeah, probably it is. So you'd have to stop it. Knight here, f5, pawn takes, queen takes. So this... Bishop c3, rook d8, rook there, queen there takes, no, not pawn takes, I would go rook takes, and if f5 here at some point, then still takes, okay, you can take that pawn, you can take that pawn, but you can go f6. And if you push, then you take there. And if you take this, then you... No, not taking there with the rook. Of course, because of rook takes and... No, just because of pawn takes knight. So takes, you have to go knight takes. It's a strange position. This pawn is pretty strong. Could also be weak. 4 versus 4. King will come on f7, so probably rook there. Yeah, but the knight is covering this square. So king here. Bishop still covers that. Here they could agree a draw most probably. King here. Not sure who is better. Probably it's even. But we have other moves. We have the line king here, queen there. Not queen d7, but knight f6. Knight f6, queen c2 and bishop c7. Queen c2 and queen c2 will be the move there. Houdini is holding its ground. Bishop c7, knight e5, knight d5 and queen b3. Interesting maneuvering is going on there. And they have not so much time anymore. They have to blitz out. They have to begin blitzing out moves. They have to start blitzing out moves at some point. But it's probably not right now. But yeah. So that's the position. Bishop c7 we have. So this is the board position after 25 moves. Knight e5. So finally the knight comes to e5, and now knight d5, a4, queen d8, knight d5, a4, queen d8. So this is the line. Both engines agree that queen b3 should be played there. Okay, now this knight can't move and the queen can also not really move. But you could go bishop c3 now, bishop b6. Could also probably sacrifice this pawn by playing queen e4, and if takes attacking the bishop, and yeah, the bishop would have to go there. And now you get back the pawn. Or even worse here, if bishop takes, then you take there, and it's all over. It doesn't matter with what you take, this check will come and this will be mate. So queen f5 could be played here. Queen b3, rook b8. I would go for queen f5. What's the big deal about queen f5? Probably bishop c3. Takes. Now capturing there is a threat. But you know, not eliminating this knight. b6 is also not so strong. Bishop there, just blocking off everything, stopping that. The queen is defending this. But a4, a5 I'm not sure about. a5 takes. Rook f8, queen takes there, bishop takes there. So let's just play any move. Let's say h5 just to see this. Attacking the rook. Rook goes to f8. Captures there, captures there, captures there, captures there. Checking here, winning the game because it's a fork. So Probably rook there now. Captures is not on. Knight f6, takes, check. King there, queen takes. But queen takes here, check. So there are many things in this position to consider. A4 is probably, yeah, because of rook e8, it's probably not wise to capture yet another pawn. It's probably not wise to... Oh, we had a couple of moves there actually. Probably not knight here, but moving the rook. The problem is f6 will come, kicking the... So, but anyway, this is now all analysis. We can do this later. Now let's watch the finals of this game. And I really want to see who is better and why. And if there is any chance of winning this now. For black. So close. Close. Because the game is now really fast, because they've reached the last time control. So see here, you see this is the time white has, 4 minutes and 43 seconds, and black has 5 minutes 5 seconds. And this is the board position. Both engines are giving it as equal. Let's see if any engine is messing this up now. At some point, it's now from a rapid game, it changed to a blitz game. And let's see. Komodo bishop c7, trying to threaten h5, so queen f5. Stopping h5, stopping f5, a4. Bishop c7, queen f5, queen f4, queen d3, queen f5, rook d8, g3, queen d7 could be the move here. At least both engines are giving queen d7 as the best move there. Rook e1 check, king h, queen f3, still playable, b5 now, a takes b5, a takes b5, c takes b5, and bishop d2. Slight edge to black, both engines agree that. Let's see if Komodo 11 really plays b5 here. Looks like a sensible move. think I already mentioned it, but I will mention it again because I'm not sure if I already mentioned it. I've let them play without opening book or table bases as always. And this will end up in the draw most probably. King g2, a5. Not capturing the a-pawn, probably because of rook a1. a5. A takes b, c takes b, and bishop d2 followed up with b4. Probably black is trying something. Black at least tries something here, but I think there is not much in that position. I will capture the... No, I won't. I wouldn't. Won't capture the bishop because the queen could capture it. I'd have to capture with the a-pawn. Bishop d2, a4. Now f6. Komodo gives f6. Knight e5. Attacking the queen. Bishop takes e5. Queen e6. Yeah, now Komodo thinks its position could be better here due to the 2 pawns on the queen side. Knight takes f6. Bishop e3 and bishop b6 attacking the c-pawn. Bishop b6 and rook d1. Rook takes. Is there any way of getting back the pawn? How to defend the d-pawn now? Isn't this just much better for black now? Knight c5 is the move. Okay, knight c5, I got it. Knight d5, back, king f3, centralizing the king. Komodo gives this. Rook c1 is what Houdini 1.5 gives, also playable. Now f5 and knight e6. Rook a8. Knight d3. Knight c2, where is this pawn heading to? Probably to c3. Knight c5 back, so Houdini has not a real plan. King f7, king f3. I think black is making a little progress in that endgame. King e2, g5 now. Very hard thought game. Move 15 now. Still. Bishop takes. That's a commitment. D takes or rook takes? Both engines are giving D takes, yeah. Giving black this passer, but knight c6 is just blockading it very well. f3. King e5. Moving into the position. f4 rook c4 mate is not working because the b pawn is covering that square. So king takes f5 h4. Yeah, black is making progress in this endgame. Rook c2 moving back. King e5. Houdini 1.5a is not playing bad moves, but in every move it's getting a little worse, its position. And there is no real plan. At least I don't see it. Rook there. Rook e8 check. King d3. King e2, king c4. Now the king approaches. Now it's probably unbearable now. Not much to do. Rook a3. Rook e3. Rook e3? What? No, rook e5. Yeah, now the h pawn goes. Yeah, it's over. It's basically over. The h pawn. Rook a3. Yeah, stopping king b3, but rook e5 is just winning the h5 pawn. There is a check. There is no check anymore. Now black has the more active king, and both engines agree that this is now bad. Bad for white. King b5 to free the rook. So the rook can now move. Bishop h4, rook there. Bishop there. King takes yet another pawn. Oh, knight here is a great move, and now king there. Rook c7 check. Okay, now Houdini resigns. Very interesting game here. So let's see how long they played book. Why isn't the live book on? Live book, party formula, live book. Well, anyway, let's ask Stockfish the important questions of that game. Where did... So the book was given. Bishop d2 here. Was this a move? Okay, let's see. Queen c2, bishop d3, bishop d2 is playable. Bishop d6, bishop d3 takes. But after bishop here, what about c5? New variation. Bishop no, not bishop here. Bishop c7 was my idea. No, bishop d3, e5. Knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes, bishop here, queen there, castles, and queen here. What about after this and queen e7? What about b4 here? b4, new variation. Bishop g4, f6, e5. Okay, and this should be better for black. And the other line with castles is also better for black. So okay, you don't go for this, you go for the e5 break. I've learned this. Bishop d3, c takes, pawn takes, castles, and now b6. Wait, c takes. There is this e5 immediately. There's this castles. So let's say castles. e5, h6, something. e5 we have queen c7, h6 transposes. Rook d1, rook e8. He takes d4 and pawn takes d4, knight b6, h3, bishop b6, rook fe1, knight b5, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, queen takes or knight takes. Queen takes is probably better, but knight takes was played, at least according to Stockfish. Bishop h7, bishop here. Yeah, black has a more easier game. King g8, rook there, knight d5. Very interesting. But the endgame was quite amusing. Thing is here, knight c5. Yeah, this is probably pretty bad. Knight d5, rook there, f5, knight d3, knight there. What instead of knight g3? What is if you go h5? What is the threat? I just want to see. h5, rook a8. Let's continue with h5. b4, king there, a3 takes, knight takes, pawn takes, knight a3, bishop there. And it should be a much better endgame due to this strong pawn. Yeah. Okay, knight d3 we have. Back knight c5. And slowly but surely Komodo was outplaying Houdini. Here king d3, king d2, it doesn't really matter at that point. These were the last moves in the game, and yeah. Check, knight here holding on to the pawn. And here Komodo Houdini resigned after that check, because there is nothing to play for anymore. Okay, thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao.